Mafia is a game from 2002. It's an open city game, but unlike series like GTA, which lean more towards the sandbox aspect of the genre, Mafia was designed to be a linear experience. Making a remake 18 years later seems like a great idea. Enough time has passed and God knows it had many shortcomings. See, Mafia is like a really wrinkled shirt. A really cool looking shirt, it has everything you need, but still, you need to iron it out. So, did they turn that iron on? We're gonna go through both games, bring snacks, and see what's what. After all, it's only appropriate to directly compare two games that try to do generally the same thing. Did you bring the snacks? Then we can start. We meet our lovely protagonist, Tommy Angelo, who is currently meeting with a police officer. This is the framing of the story. Tommy is retelling his journey through the mob, and we get to play the fun parts. It's a pretty unique way to tell a story, especially for a game from 2002. And even in 2020, it doesn't feel like a kind of thing that is overused, so that's good. On to mission 1.
Let's hear it.
An offer you can't refuse. A black screen with white text. Classic. Gone are the pictures and the intense colors. Instead, we got this. You might say this is nitpicking, but come on. You have a chance to be superior in every possible way. You got the technology. You don't really have hardware limitation. Yet we're already receiving less compared to the original. Funny thing is, the mission photos do exist in the remake, but they're more like small icons and only appear in-game on the map screen. And since we're on this topic, can we talk about the main menus as well? So here's the remake's menu. Let's go to free ride, for example. And it shows me the bathroom. What does that have to do with the free ride mode? Then you go over to the car cyclopedia and it shows me a trophy. Not a book or something like that, but a trophy. Why? Meanwhile, in the original, look, for the intro you got a movie reel, tutorial, that's a table? Okay, new game, the pistols, load game, the typewriter, classic, free ride, shows the map, the imagery makes sense. I think you will agree. Another missed opportunity for the remake. Like the original already got it right, just do something similar. So let's get back on track to mission 1, where we learn that Tommy works as a cab driver. So one day, he runs into Polly and Sam, and they ask politely for a ride. This is where we come in. We gotta lose the guys who are chasing us. In the original, there's only one car after us. You might think that's easy, running away from just one car. And after all, this is the first mission. It's not supposed to be hard. But it can get pretty tricky. First of all, this is where newcomers come face to face with the terrible car controls. The cars feel extremely heavy, but extra slippery when turning. In short, you don't want to drive fast, which is exactly what the game asks of you right away. But don't fall for it. This game will often not hold your hand, leaving it to you to figure out a solution. So drive into narrow pathways so that they ram into the wall. Usually works, but if not, repeat until it does. Meanwhile, in the remake, they do something different. The driving is a little bit better, not as heavy, but still just as slippery. So instead of you finding ways to get rid of the guys behind you, you just drive to markers on the map where a cutscene plays of them running into their deaths. Besides the marker, you got these other ones that tell you where you need to turn. Showcasing them here because after a while I will turn these off. Point is, this is the default option that the game starts off with. But oh no, more cars, and they made a roadblock on the bridge. What are we gonna do? That was more disappointing than my son.
The bridge is up, ain't it?
Yeah, we can make it.
What the hell are we doing? Just sit tight and pray.
I do appreciate how they turned up the action, but it's mostly just spectacle rather than actual gameplay. Plus, it's up to you to decide whether you believe that so many cars would chase two small-time criminals. Now let's see the mission ending cutscene.
Pull over in front of that bar.
Salieri's place.
Yeah, that's the one. Wait here.
What for?
You want a little something from the Don or not?
Compensation for your services. Scratches on your car. You swerved.
Now let's see how the original did it.
Finally, we're home. Wait here, friend. Sam will get you a little something from Mr. Salieri. Thanks for your help.
Mr. Salieri would like to thank you as well as myself and Paulie.
Now that's how you do tension. You let it build until it's unbearable. It might be a bit cheesy, but hey, at least the original succeeds in what it sets out to do. And you might laugh at some of the character models or animations. They definitely aged, but the remake is gonna age even worse. Hell, it might look better than its 18-year-old predecessor, but it looks worse than its 10-year-old sequel. Moving on to Mission 2, Running Man. One of the most boring missions in the game. You just play as a taxi driver, nothing much to add. In the original, you just drive, while the remake added some dialogue to make it a little bit more tolerable. Still, if I would like to defend the original, I would say that it's boring on purpose. There's no dialogue because it wants you to just explore the city, become more familiar with it, and it's to showcase the boring life that a cab driver has. You don't want to do taxi, you want to be a badass mafioso, but it might be a stretch. In any case, we can talk about the police. Now the police actually do their job in this game. If you go over the speed limit, hit something, run over a red light, they're gonna fine you. What that consists of is, when that happens, you have to step outside your vehicle and watch this little animation, essentially paying your fines. So we drive the last guy to the spot that might as well be yellow painted on the road and take a little break. But we can't relax for too long.
Whoa, Jesus!
Hey, how you doing, pal? You remember me? Yeah?
Those bastards remembered the license plate of my car and took it on themselves to hunt me down.
Lou here'll fix your face a little.
I wish I was as happy as Louis. We need to run, so you know what you need to do, right? Follow the markers. I do admit that this alley looks great. It's jam-packed with a bunch of stuff. Looks very nice. Now in the original, we just get a little hint and the occasional green arrow that directs us. You also need to zigzag, otherwise you're gonna get shot. Hiding behind corners is also very useful. You can see it right here how much the game is not directing you. Only once you turn on the corner can you spot the green arrow. I even end up going the wrong way, but thankfully, I somehow survived. And we get to the bar, where the guys just recklessly walk into. Bad move, my dudes. In the remake, it's a little bit different.
Trying to talk to that cabbie over there, that's all.
That right.
Yeah.
Well, this here's the Don's favorite driver. So anything you gotta say to him, you can say to me.
Is that right? Well, I'll tell you something, pal. We ain't leaving empty-handed, that's for sure.
Well, then maybe you ain't leaving at all.
Okay, then. See your boys around. Let's go, Lou.
Thanks.
Least we could do.
Come on, let's go say hi to the Don.
Don Salieri?
Yeah. He's gonna want to hear about this.
Now in the original, Tommy gets fired from his job as a cab driver because his boss doesn't want to work with anybody that is associated with the mob. But this is once again a thing that is done differently in the remake. But we'll see that in the beginning of the third mission, which is called Molotov Party. This is the first time we see the big boss himself, and I'm not going to say anything. You decide which version you prefer more.
What do they call you, son?
Thomas. Thomas Angelo, sir.
Looks like Morello is really trying to make me mad. But I'm a reasonable person. What do they call you, son?
Thomas Angelo.
Frank told me you ran into some trouble?
Yes, sir. My cab got smashed up pretty good.
Morello's thugs went after him on account of Tommy helping us.
This, taxi. That's your livelihood?
Yes, sir.
I've decided to give you a shot, Tommy. I like new faces. We're one big family here.
I feel a sense of responsibility here. So I'm gonna set you up with a small loan, enough to get that cab of yours fixed up.
I appreciate that, sir, but I'm not looking for a handout.
Then what are we doing here?
I just want a shot at the bastards who wrecked my cab.
So as you can see, Tommy is much more hot-headed in this one. In the original, it's Salieri that gives Tommy a chance. This makes it so that Salieri can get back at Morello, his nemesis. Plus, if Tommy does well, he's gonna get a new member. In the remake, it's only after Tommy suggests taking a jab at Morello that Salieri decides that that's what they're gonna do. It works, but as they say, the devil is in the details.
You hear that, Frank? The kid wants my permission to get into a fight.
Thank you, Mr. Salieri. I won't let you down.
Also, as you just heard, Tommy already acts like Salieri is his boss. Submissive bitch.
Paulie'll go with you just in case. Go see Vincenzo for equipment and Ralph for some wheels.
We're about to meet, as you just heard, Vincenzo and Ralphie. So in the remake, you have this new invention in video games where you are limited to just walking, but even that is slowed down so that you can take in the environment or something. The original skips this. What we're gonna see here is that the remake can do subtle, realistic characters. Everybody has to be an over-the-top showman, which makes them feel like caricatures. The original is much more stilted, yes, but I think it's forgivable because it's an old game. Find me a game from 2002 that has amazing voice acting.
Buongiorno, Vincenzo.
Ciao, Polly. Oh, she's gonna sing.
Who's this then? Vinny, this here's Tommy Angelo.
Buongiorno, Vincenzo.
Ciao, Paulie.
This here's Tom. Just started up with us.
All right, good. Hey, you just need bean shooters or rods?
Nah, we just need something to write off a few cars.
Huh. Oh, I got just the thing. This classic should do the trick. Oh! Hey, if the bat don't work out for use, I got a few cocktails here.
Ay, ay, ay.
Careful with them, though. Don't want to burn off your short hairs.
This classic piece of sports equipment should do the job, and if not, I've mixed up a few cocktails. Careful with them, though.
Nice a lot, Vincenzo.
Bring back the bat. It's my nephew's.
Sure thing.
Now the next thing I want you to pay attention to is how Paulie is different between the two versions. Because unlike Salieri, there is a clear winner here.
Ralphie's in the garage. He's a special kind of idiot, but he's got a way with cars. I don't get how this moron gets engines to purr. But I'm telling you, it's like some kind of black magic.
Ralph will introduce you to as a complete idiot, but he's got a special way with cars. I don't get how such a moron could know anything about anything. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
Get ready for some grade A comedy.
Hey, genius! Get your head out of your ass!
What the fuck there, Paulie? You can't just sneak up on a guy like that.
Visit. How you all doing, Paulie?
Hey, Ralphie.
Yeah, I see you're still limping, so we got two cripples working here.
That's right, but I ain't a fool.
I'm sorry, Ralphie. I'm just busting your balls.
See, you're still limping. Guess we got two cripples working here.
We ain't nothing alike. You got that, Ralph?
Sure, Paulie. Yeah.
Ralph, this is Tom. If you bring him a stolen car, Tommy, I'll make it your own, and no one will know the difference.
Tommy Angelo.
Good to meet you.
Like I said, Ralphie here's a cracked egg. But you bring him a stolen car, I'll make it yours.
Tom and me have a job to do. You're supposed to have some wheels for us?
Right. Here it is.
Tom and me, we got a job to do. We need some wheels.
How about this one, Paulie? It ain't a hot rod, but it'll get you across to town.
All right, let's go. You're driving.
It ain't no hot rod, but it should really do for you.
Thanks, Ralphie. Let's go.
And don't let me catch you loafing off again.
Aren't we supposed to like Paulie?
One day I'm gonna cut your brake line, asshole.
That whole interaction between Paulie and Ralphie was pretty embarrassing. These guys are supposed to be a team, yet Paulie treats him so badly. This really feels like just a classic case of bad writing. Anyway, we get to Morello's bar. We get into the parking lot through the back. Take out this guy. Now, you can't pick up this box and put it in front of the door. If you use the Molotov cocktails, guys are gonna start coming out of there. But if you put the box down, they won't be able to. It's a small thing, and they don't come out at all if you just use the baseball bat. But again, it's the little details. Anyway, once we're done, we can open up this garage here and get a secret car. Again, you can easily miss this, especially if you don't pay attention to Paulie, who sounds really low in the mix for some reason. Now in the remake, we get introduced to the stealth mechanic. Just watch. Yes, you just crouch down and that's it. Now here, the guys come out regardless of what you do, and you have to beat them up. Then you're told what to do every step along the way, And there's no secret cut either. Paulie just knows it's there and tells you to take it.
We gotta go. We can take Dino's car.
How'd you know this is Dino's car?
I don't like you and you got a good car. I'm gonna know where you...
I don't mind the game teaching the basics to the player, but it's not teaching you any complex mechanics or anything. Anyone who played the TPS before will know everything that was in this mission. And because of that, it feels unnecessary. Mission 3, Ordinary Routine.
And it's collection day, boys. So Tommy, you'll drive. Paulie and Sam can handle the rest. It'll be routine. Bill at the motel was a little short last month. So make sure he pays us the interest he owes.
No problem, boss.
So in the old version, you just drive around and wait for...
The brand new shoes. You think I'm gonna walk over there?
Oh boy, Paulie really didn't want to ruin his shoes. He much rather morphs into the pavement. So that's pretty boring, just waiting around until the guys collect the money. So this is the perfect opportunity for the remake to make this more exciting. Ooh, great, we actually get to enter the building with them. Let's see what's gonna happen inside. The next place doesn't fare much better either, because the only thing we can do is just listen to Paulie beating up some poor lad while we're sitting outside in the car. Then on the way to the third location, we get a mark on the map that we can't even see, since we only have a city map. So you mean we got this big city, but we can also venture to the outskirts of it? Sounds like an adventure to me. I wonder what's out there. So if we check the map now, it's gonna say we're off the map. Cool. In the remake, we see exactly where we're going, because it shows everything. Surely you can see what is being lost here. Then we get some more bad humor.
We've been working these streets for years. You come in and you think you know it all.
I'm not saying that, Sam.
You've been a day on the job, pal. You haven't seen what we do. You haven't seen how we do it. Sam, I think you oughta... No, Paulie. This punk thinks he can walk in here like a big shot. I put greasers like him in the ground. I think you gotta say you're sorry, Tom.
Sorry, huh? Well, I'd say sorry if I couldn't see the bullshit smile you're trying to hide.
You got him, though, Sam! You got him! I could smell the crap in your pants from here.
Nah, you didn't get me.
At the motel, things don't go as planned.
Tom, I took one. Jesus Christ, Paulie!
Tell Salieri from here on out this place is ours. Capiche? And don't come back.
Now in the original, we have to sneak in the back and climb up here behind the motel. Having a little trouble climbing. Almost got it. Yeah, there we go. So this is the first time we can actually shoot people. The shooting is quite simple. You press the fire button, crosshair jumps up. Though I do have to say, every weapon feels different. I can think of like one pistol that's quite bad, mostly due to the fact that it deals very little damage, and it takes forever to reload. Other than that, there's not much to complain about. In the remake, we can take some advantage of the stealth mechanic, although not for long. Take out this guy on the toilet, and for some reason, everybody downstairs gets alerted. Anyway, the shooting. Take cover and shoot at the enemy. This is classic difficulty, by the way, the hardest one in the game. As you can see, the AI is not exactly all that intelligent. Your crosshair is a circle, which I don't really like, although that's just a subjective point. We'll talk about the problems with shooting when they become more prominent. Once we fight our way through the enemies, we find Sam. While we are preoccupied with him, the guy tries to bail with our money, so we give chase. In the original, we have the mechanic where we can shoot out of our vehicle. We have to turn the car in the right angle to be able to shoot at the guy's car. In the remake though, just press the fire button, a crosshair appears automatically, and you just press the button to shoot. Now the environment which we chase him through is much more exciting than in the original, but gameplay wise, it pretty much plays itself. I almost ran out of bullets in the original, but I managed to blow up his car. Don't ask me how the money survived, but it's really brutal. You can even see the guy's corpse, all burned up. We cut back to Tommy talking with the officer. This usually means we're going forward in time a little bit. A cool feature in the original is that as time passes, the cars on the road are gonna get more and more modern. I can't really tell if this happens in the remake. In any case, we jump forward 2 years to the mission Fairplay.
Listen, Tommy, I have a delicate job for you. I don't know anyone else who could do it better than you.
You know, there's a race coming up.
Oh, yeah. Paulie and Sam have some money on the local.
So here's another thing that's different. In the remake, you approach the garage door and the menu pops up. Not much to say about it. In the original, you can see them parked just outside. This looks much more appealing to me. Of course, in the beginning, you're not really going to have a lot of cars to look at. You have to collect them as you progress through the game. We're driving at night, which looks like this in the remake. It's fine, nothing noteworthy. The original has a certain atmosphere. You see homeless people gathering around a barrel that's been lit on fire. The lights on the car are much more visible. It might not come through the footage, because atmosphere is one of those things that you have to experience rather than see. If you don't see it, well, you just have to play both versions to see what I'm talking about.
Shame you gotta wreck it. If they see this on the road, cops are gonna ask questions.
The cops, as far as I can tell, are disabled for this mission. But anyway, my god, is this thing fast. I guess that makes sense, but it doesn't feel good to drive at all. If it wasn't clear before how the two versions are practically the same when it comes to controls, this is where it should become crystal clear. Anyway, this is the first time we're gonna meet Lucas Bertone.
Tommy Angelo.
Lucas Bertoni. Oh, ain't she a thing of beauty?
We don't have much time.
We'll see what could be done. You can hang out a while.
Once Lucas finishes the job, we make our way back, and we can see a guy trying to jump from the bridge. This is straight up remade in the remake as well, which is nice to see. This little scene adds to the city feeling more alive than it really is. You might have noticed that we have a bar in the remake while we're driving the race car. Do you want to know what happens if it fills up? Nothing. The motor stops for a bit and then you can just continue on. What was the point? I even ran out of time, but it still didn't fail me. Just a reminder, I'm still playing on the hardest difficulty. I guess I should be thankful that it doesn't make me repeat that. In the next scene, more cringe humor.
So Sam walks out of the bathroom, and I'm praying he's got a piece on him, because I'm not sure the bartender's going to hand over what he owes. And his two sons, they're inching closer. I can hear them cracking their knuckles. They're both 7 feet tall, built like brick shithouses.
What were you carrying?
My dick.
That's right. This crazy bastard, he waltzes out of the bathroom, just starts pissing all over the joint.
Really? What, he didn't call the cops?
Nah, sometimes you just gotta make them think you're crazy.
Tom, you got a moment?
Oh. Sure, Frank.
So yeah, Frank informs us that our driver got beaten up by Morello, and we have to race in his stead.
Okay, I know it won't be easy, but we don't have a choice.
This is it, guys. The undoubtedly worst mission in Mafia.
Son of a bitch! Yes!
It's so bad, it sucks in both versions. You have to drive as fast as you can, it's a race after all, while the car is super slippery, and one mistake can pretty much cost you the entire race. It's a complete disaster, especially once you realize that the original race is 5 laps long, which took me around 8.5 minutes to finish, compared to the remake which has only 3 laps but still took me like 5 minutes. During that time, you're fighting for your life. And again, this was a perfect opportunity for the remake to fix the mistake of the original. But they didn't. They kept it pretty much the same as it was. If the gods bless us and we win the race, in the remake we get introduced to Sarah, a potential love interest.
Congratulations, big hero.
Nah, just got lucky's off.
Well, I had my money on the other guys, so drinks are on you.
Oh.
Then we have to walk around the celebration looking for Paulie. So, you know, more walking simulator stuff. Then we have to drive him home, and then the mission ends. There's a lot more back and forth driving in the original, but at least when the race is won, you're free to go to your first side mission, but only if you want to. So you can visit Lucas Bertone, who's going to give you some small mission, and in exchange, he's going to teach you how to steal a car. In this first side mission, we only need to steal the car. Later missions will have us do a little bit more. These are completely absent in the remake. I mean, you can collect cars, secret cars apparently, but only after getting the collectibles and beating the game. So they're really not main storyline stuff. And when it comes to the original side missions, they are going to get more and more tedious as we progress through the game. But they're just a little bit of extra thing that you can do. I don't think that they're so bad that you have to cut them entirely. Here's the car we get for this first mission. And this is the car that the guy from the third mission was actually driving while he was trying to get away. Mission 5. Sarah.
Hey, Tommy. You know my daughter, right?
Yeah, Luigi. Nice girl.
What's this then?
Tom's gonna take you.
So we have to escort Sarah home because some thugs have been bothering her. I love how Tommy is unable to turn his head towards whoever is speaking. It's amazing.
That right.
You're a famous race driver, Tom. Everyone talks about you.
That's like the only thing the original has going for it. Tommy actually looks at Sarah as they walk like an actual human being. I don't know. I like Remake Sarah more because she has a hell of a lot more character, but it's not like she's a major player in the story. So the original has generic bad guys, nothing to write about, but the remake, okay, does that hairstyle belong to this time period? It feels modern. Second, we can see a really big difference between Tommy as a character here.
We going to have trouble here?
Trouble started back when you tried to steal our girl, Chief.
You saps aren't careful. You'll end up in wooden overcoats. Last chance to walk away.
We ain't frails. We know who you work for.
It's not like I have a problem with it, I just want to highlight the differences between the two versions.
Let's see what you got, cake eater.
Jesus Christ, guys, you have to work on your fucking insults.
Boys, I think it would be better if you just go away and not make any problems.
I think the only one here with a problem is you, Chief.
If I were in your shoes, I'd leave right now. You never know what might happen.
We'll see, lover boy.
We get into the very exciting, unpredictable melee fighting. Press the attack button and occasionally press the dodge button. In short, it's boring. There's nothing that complicates things. Every encounter feels the exact same. In the original, you have brass knuckles that you can equip, hence the mission photo. You can hold the button for a stronger punch, but yeah, that's the extent of that. It's still more challenging because you have to move around, plus the enemies don't wait their turn, they all attack at once. So both are bad, but is it unfair of me to have expected more from the remake? It just took the melee mechanics from Mafia 2 and called it a day. Oh well. It's actually quite funny in the original because once an enemy had enough, they're gonna run away, but linger around until you get close to them, at which point they're gonna scream and run away from you. It's pretty funny.
We're all gonna die!
Anyway, we get invited up to Sarah's apartment, and, well, you know how these things go.
You got an extra blanket or something?
No. And the heat's out.
Eso todo.
Here you go, hero. So, Do you swing?
What?
Do you like dancing, music? I have a gramophone.
Yeah, I like music.
Ladies and gentlemen, type in the comments which one you prefer. Type 1 if you're into a guy that's so hot he cancels out the heating in your apartment. Type 2 if you're into a guy that likes music. Mission 6, better get used to it.
The very next day I told Salieri what happened with the punks. The gang of hoodlums had set up residence in his territory, causing trouble and scaring good people. Don Salieri was not pleased.
Teach these boys a lesson. Break every bone in their bodies. Put them in wheelchairs. Bust their faces up so bad, even their mothers can't look at them without screaming.
So yeah, we gotta teach these people not to mess around on the Don's territory. But first, we gotta go talk to Biff, who can provide information about where these guys set up base. This is how that goes in the original.
Hey there, you fat bastard. We need a little piece of information.
What's going on?
A gang of jokers have set themselves up in our territory, and they're giving people a bad time. They messed with Luigi's daughter, and if it wasn't for Tom here, who knows what they would have done to her. We need to know where they meet, so we can deliver them a message from Don Salieri.
You came to the right place, Paulie. I know what's going on. A few people have already had problems with them, and they told me meet at the old service station near the Terranova Bridge. It's a little ways from here. You can get there through a sort of side door across the yard. Send them my regards, Paulie.
Thanks, Biff.
And here's the remake, sped up for convenience. We have a bit more driving to do in the original, but it's pretty close by. Then we get to bashing butts.
Only the nicest ass I've ever seen in my life. Yo.
Now this quickly escalates in the remake. Remember these barrels, they're gonna be important later. The original has a more subtle shootout, but of course both end with a car chase. Oh boy, how would you like to drive with slippery controls and while it's raining? Honestly, it's not so bad, probably because you already drive knowing that the cars are gonna slip and slide even in clear weather. Now the rain is remake only, it doesn't happen in the original. In any case, we catch up to the guys and they are not in the best shape.
Fucking die, man. Christ, Tom. You can't feel sorry for these animals?
You can't feel sorry for these animals. He'd shoot you in the back the first opportunity he gets.
I thought about what my mother or Sarah would do if they saw me there.
Look at this convenient shit.
Yes, I'm out. This one's finished too.
Of course, the same thing happens in the original, but here's the problem. You need to learn from the mistakes of the original, not replicate them one-on-one. Is that too much to ask? Mission 7, The Priest. Or Saints and Sinners in the remake. We get immediately lectured because of what happened at the last mission.
You left another guy in the wreck?
Yeah, but he was dead when we got there.
You gonna tell me he was the president's nephew or something?
2 in the head, Paulie. If you're gonna do a job, do it right.
He made it?
Yes. He spent the week in St. Mary's, but he pulled through.
So what's going down?
We're gonna blow the place up.
What? What kind of joint is it?
A hotel. Yeah. That is, it's a brothel, Tom.
We're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 blast. Galati's funeral's today at St. Michael's. Sam, you're gonna attend.
Things are getting out of hand, but before we go blow up the place, Sam has something to say in the remake.
Gotta hear me out on this. It's about the girl.
Michelle?
Right. You don't have to rub her out. Just make her disappear.
You know her?
Yeah. I've been with her a few times. She's a good egg, Tom. Just maybe not so bright. She doesn't deserve to get plugged just because she likes listening to me talk.
Okay, so I drop Sam off and make my way to the hotel. What? I didn't do anything. Why were the police after me? Was it because I drew up on the sidewalk? Anyway, next attempt I'll make it into the hotel. So let's first take a look at how the original plays out. We have 3 objectives. We can ask the receptionist about the manager, and we don't really have any way to sneak around. There are no stealth mechanics, so we just have to shoot him in plain sight. It's awkward. And while we're here, can we talk about the game over screens? This is how the original does it. It's fast and to the point. Not so much in the remake. You can make a montage about all the funny death animations that play out in this game. Even worse, it takes forever until the menu pops up for you to respawn. So with that out of the way, let's see how the remake handles the manager assassination. Remember, we do have stealth mechanics in this one, so it's fair to say that, oh, never mind, just shoot him in the face. I understand that Salieri told us to kill him in public, but this is just flat out suicidal. Let's get the whole hotel's attention right away. Jesus. We have a little side quest where we have to look at this document to find where the girl is that Sam told us about. That's a little something that the remake adds. In the original, you just have to go door to door until the cutscene plays. Remake Tommy is apparently a master at threatening people. I don't know where this boy learned it.
Losing a lot of money because someone can't keep their mouth shut.
I was just bumping guns with some of Morello's girls. I didn't mean nothing by it. Tell him I'm sorry. Tell him I won't never open my mouth again.
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You scared then?
Compared to the original, who is much more down to earth and innocent.
Ah! What? Tom?
Congratulations.
What?
Michelle?
What are you doing? What's going on? What are you going to do? What do you want from me?
I'm sorry, Michelle, but I heard that a bunch of people got knocked off because of your talk, and someone lost a lot of dough. You're dangerous to us.
It isn't true. It couldn't be true. I wanted to help my brother and...
I knew it. This could only happen to me, a total screw-up. I can't just kill a young girl. A young naive fool who wanted to help her own brother? I don't want to see you in this town again. Nobody can see you here anymore.
Thank you so very much.
After that, we make our way to the director's room. See, there's a guard there. Makes sense to me. But in the remake, it's not only empty, but the door isn't even locked. In the original, we had to grab the key from the lobby. Well, whatever. Having planted the bomb, Tommy makes his escape. We're not finished yet. After bowing to the sledge before climbing it, it's all about the respect, we have to find a way to get down from the roofs while the police are after us. In the original, you have to walk and climb around, trying to figure out where you can go, which is of course absent for the most part in the remake. It's all about the action, baby. We make our way to the ladder, and let's see how the two of them do this. Type in the comments. We descend the stairs and find ourselves at the funeral service for the guy from the previous mission. They are very happy to see us, so they salute us with their guns. As you can see in the original, the difficulty comes from the enemy placement. There are guys up on balconies, between the benches. Plus, once you head for the exit, a guy storms in with a shotgun. In the remake, you start behind the cover and just shoot from there. Because this would be too passive, they gave enemies Molotov cocktails to throw, so that you would be forced to change locations. But first of all, they announce before they throw it, giving you a hint to shoot them, and when you do, they throw it on themselves. Second, even when it works and they succeed throwing it, you just move to another predetermined cover place and continue what you've been doing before. It's not really tactical in any kind of way.
What have you done? Murder in the house of God. Which one might have saved just one life?
None of us, Father. You bastard. If you have any confessions to make, you better do it quick.
No more bloodshed, please!
I'm sorry, Father. Consider this an act of divine retribution.
The whole thing with the guy trying to shoot us, it doesn't happen in the original. I mean, it has no relevancy whatsoever, even in the remake. But instead, we get this more somber interaction between the priest and Tommy.
Maybe God wanted it this way. A lot of people will have an easier life because of this.
Yes, the Lord works in mysterious ways. But what about you? You can look yourself in the face? Your hands are stained with blood that you'll never wash off.
Pray for my soul, Father. I'll need it.
I will, my son. I certainly will.
Tommy clearly feels guilt for what he has done and become, making him a much more sympathetic character. While the remake Tommy feels like a natural-born criminal, the little moments when he feels guilt comes off as forced, out of character. The story demands of him to feel remorse, even at times when he has already done much worse, making it come off as really unnatural.
And keep you quiet.
We're not done yet though, the police are still in hot pursuit of us, so I better hide and hope my problems go away. That's how it's done. Similar thing happens in the remake, although I don't hide there, I just drive around. It's pretty memorable how you have to escape in a hearse. It's in the original as well, but I just didn't use it because I knew it's a slow as ass car.
Don't think so. They must have called out every cop in the city.
Before we head into the next mission though, we have a serious talk with Frank. And this is probably one of the few things that I can confidently say the remake does better.
If you don't want to end up a wreck, Tom, find some meaning in your life.
What? You want to preach to me about a sense of life?
I've seen a few good guys who couldn't deal with their problems, and they end up real bad. Usually somebody knocks you off for your money, or maybe you go nuts and all your buddies and pretty dames disappear. Anyway, the Don doesn't want drunks with trembling hands working for him. Those kind of people just bring problems.
There's a lot of buzz around town about you guys.
Yeah, we got into a little scrap last night. It's no big deal.
I don't care about the bar fight, Tom. I care how it looks when you walk into a club and buy everyone around.
We gotta do something with our dough.
Then blow it at the track on Sunday. Or take a dame to a show. Or invest it for Christ's sake.
You want me to become one of those Wall Street boys?
Don't sass me, Tommy. I'm trying to teach you the ropes, so you don't get strangled by them. You ever have a dog, Tom?
Sure. Little mutt when I was a kid.
When I was 8 or 9, before I came over from Sicily, I had this beautiful skinny Cerneco dell'Etna. Like a little greyhound. Fastest dog you've ever seen. That's how I met the Don. We started setting up races together. Betting on her with coins and rifle shells. There wasn't another dog that could catch her. She never lost. Until the day she did. We were only out a pocket knife, but I never saw the Don so angry.
She got old on you?
No. Pregnant. She went into heat, got out of the yard, and every dog in town had a turn. You're like that dog, Tommy. Every time you flash your money around, you're a bitch in heat, and everyone in that club is now looking to fuck you.
Mission 8, a trip to the country. We gotta go to the countryside to pick up some whiskey, but when we arrive there, Sam should be waiting for us, yet he's nowhere to be seen, and you know what that means. We're the player, so we have to do all the work. So we set off to see what's what. You might feel that we do the same exact thing in both versions, but that is a little misleading based on this sped up footage. And I'll tell you why. Let me know if you notice it. The remake's approach to the farm is very linear. We can enter a couple of small houses, but there's nothing of note in them, so they're pointless. And I really don't feel like I'm in any danger because I can just pretty much run around like an excited kid hooked up on sugar. And because of the cover system, you always know when a shootout is gonna happen. So there's no danger at all. Compare that to the original, which has a much more chaotic arrangement of buildings. You can already tell that enemies could pop up from many different spots. It's an ideal place for a shootout. And that's exactly what happens. We've been compromised, somebody fucked us over, and we have to fight our way out. Except no, because they got Sam. God, Sam is the damsel in distress of the story. In both versions, they got Sam held up in the barn. But as you can see, thankfully, the front of the barn is conveniently full of covers. Do you see this? This is such an archaic way of making a video game. Like, do you understand that this is essentially a 3D Space Invaders level? You move left and right and shoot. Also, the Tommy gun sucks in the remake. Once we get to Sam, the police arrive. And we have to defend Sam once again. This is pretty straightforward in the original. Enemies come, gun them down. I have to shoot them from the window, but there's always a couple of them that make it up the stairs, so I have to watch out for that as well. Now the remake tries to complicate things just a little bit. So we're up here. From this side, they can climb a ladder to get to us. On our right side, they can come up the steps. You get the idea, right? Enemies coming from two sides, that's what creates difficulty. Except, the Academy didn't teach everybody how to climb ladders. So there's like two, sometimes just one, that actually knows how to use the ladder. Instead, you can just stay here, wait until they come up the steps, and shoot them. How's that for fun? Now once the game gets tired of that, I have to check on Sam. Don't ask me why, but the mission won't progress until I do. So more enemies come, which you know what that means. Get to the box and wait for them to come up the stairs. Finally, Paulie arrives, who went to get the truck so we can get the fuck out of here. Which again makes zero sense, by the way, in the remake, because he comes from the exact same direction as the police did. How did they not run into one another? In the original, the police are coming from the opposite side, so it makes perfect sense there. We hop into the truck, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have to shoot them with the Tommy gun. Again, because the weapons are all pretty good in the original, this is no problem. It's a little variety on the gameplay if nothing else. But in the remake, oh boy. I already told you how the Tommy gun sucks, but for regular vehicles, it's passable. Until you have to deal with the armored truck. Oh my god. Is this even possible on classic difficulty? Paulie drives around like a drunk would-be in character. Meanwhile, the truck starts off at half health and the turret that you're supposed to shoot has 1,000,000 HP. I tried so many times, couldn't do it. So I had to lower the difficulty for this part.
Shoot out their gun when there's a break in the fire! Now, Tommy! While they reload! They're reloaded! Shoot now while we got the chance!
Once we get rid of the turret, we have to shoot at the windshield. Surely, that's a big design flaw. Anyway, once we shoot it out, we throw 2 Molotovs in, and they're done. Again, the remake made the whole thing more bombastic. It's up to you if you can believe that for 3 gangsters, the police force would deploy an armored truck and God knows how many regular cars. On the other side, we have our next side mission from Lucas. You have to warn one of his friends because the police are coming for him. It's a time mission, as most of these side missions are. So in order to make it in time, you're supposed to take the shortcut right here. Well, okay, well, we all need more fresh air in my opinion. And at least I'm wearing a hat. So we make it in time, warn the guy, then make our way back to Lucas. And yes, the car remained damaged like this. It was really fun. Anyway, this is the car that we get this time. We have a long drive back to the bar though. Ugh. There's one more thing that happens in the remake that doesn't happen in the original, and that is with Sarah waiting for us at home.
You're late. Dinner's cold.
Work. Marry me.
Okay.
Mission 9, Omerta. So just to clarify the term, Omerta is essentially a vow that people in the Mafia make which keeps them from speaking to the authorities.
We have a mole, Tom.
No. Oh.
I was up all night driving myself nuts trying to figure it out. I started thinking maybe it's one of our guys. We aren't paying his fair share. Someone with a light wallet. Maybe looking to Morello for a new suit. Frank wasn't around, so I went to the safe to get the account books. To see who's getting cents on the dollar he's earned.
What do you know?
The books are gone, Tom.
First thing we have to do is get information. This is tedious in both versions.
Sorry, Tommy. I don't know nothing about it. Hey, little Tony.
Tommy, what's the rumpus?
Depends.
What's it worth for you? $20. How about 40?
All right, still.
Yeah, be ice now. You're getting something from Morello, but I don't know what.
How's it here?
Little Tony got some guy drunk and drove him home. Heard a bunch of stuff, so he's the guy you want to see.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
How are you, Tony? Mr. Salieri needs to know where the cops are holding Consigliere Frank, and Big Biff suggested you might know something.
Hey there, Tom. Look, I don't know where they've got Frank exactly, but I do know there's a scumbag that's been blurting stuff, something about Frank and the cops the other day. They call him Idiot Joe because he's a complete idiot. He hangs out on the lot under the bridge. You'll know him.
Everything okay, Tom?
Nah, it's not. What's this about the guy you drove home who's with the feds?
He came in for a drink, which turned into 10. He's hired muscle for some kind of safe house.
Where?
Oak Hill, corner of Pine.
Get out of here!
Hey there. You Joe by chance?
Got the wrong guy. I'm Pete.
The original gets pretty confusing in this part, but you have to beat the guy up because he's lying.
Damn it! Okay already. You win, man.
Then we have to follow Frank in this car without a roof, just so that they might recognize us immediately if they choose to look in the rearview mirror. We have a sight meter at the top which works completely at random, so don't worry about it. In the original, I'm facing the wrong way when I arrive at the scene.
If they're driving him around in an armor-plated car. Well, I'll follow them and see where they're headed.
The AI is not the best at driving, but at least it's not a boring drive. We followed them till we reach the airport. The remake takes advantage of the stealth mechanics, so much so in fact that you can get by this whole entire mission without firing once. It looks like they wanted to tone down the action this time, which is pretty unlike them. I don't mind stealth sections in video games, but my problem with it is that it's so easy that it might as well be playing itself, just like I said before in other sections of the game. They could have made the sneaking around more difficult, But because it's such a simplistic mechanic, there was probably no way for them to do that. In any case, it's really confusing how there is not a single shooting section that they included in this whole entire big mission. It's supposed to be big because we're taking down one of the family members. It's significant plot-wise, it should be significant gameplay-wise.
Tom.
Frank. The Don sent me.
I figured as much. I'm sorry it had to be you, Tommy.
Anything you want me to tell him?
I wish it could have shaken out better, but Morello finally came after me. Morello offered me a simple trade. The Don's account books for our lives and tickets out of this town.
You hand the books over yet?
I'm not so stupid, Tom. They're safe. Morello was waiting for this.
It's a key to a box in the Grand Imperial Bank downtown.
I told Morello I'd hand it over after the plane was fueled and ready to go.
Tell them to get on a plane.
Go on, March. Alice, get aboard.
Frank, you're coming with us.
Not right now, honey. Just get buckled in. Tommy and I, we have some serious business to discuss.
But Frank...
Get on the plane, March!
Christ, Frank. Why didn't you ask us for help?
I guess I just wanted out. One way or the other. I'm tired, Tommy. Tired of lying to my wife. Tired of checking under my car every time I take a Sunday drive. And tired of waiting for the dawn to put two in my temple.
God damn you, Frank.
The original is a big shootout across the whole airport. Again, a lot of the challenge comes from enemy placements, and of course the amount of them. You can't just rush in and blast everyone to pieces, you gotta take a careful approach. You get a pistol and a shotgun at your disposal, which are pretty good, but the shotgun is only effective on close range, so that's another challenge that you have to overcome. Or a simple solution to that is just to change weapons and take it from the enemies. Most of the time I take weapons in the remake because I ran out of ammo, not because there are better weapons. As you can see, even though I played this game many times, I still get surprised by some of the enemy placements. As you can see, the place is huge and you're not told where to go. Meanwhile, enemies are everywhere. It must be pretty overwhelming to somebody that plays this for the first time. Actually, this place is so big that my legs start to hurt, so... Ah, perfect! Still, you best be careful because they can explode the vehicle. And there's a whole bunch of guys running around with shotguns and Tommy guns. Also, you should watch out not to run over Frank.
Tom.
Frank, the Don sent me. And you know why.
I know why. I know.
I don't get what happened to you. I thought you were my friend. I'd have never guessed that something like this would happen. Why the hell did you do it?
Tom, I couldn't go on this way. Too many people have died lately, and I don't have the stomach for it. It used to be different with the Don in the old days. Maybe I'm just getting too old. Tom, this is a war, and I don't want to fight anymore. I got a child, and I thought I'd finally get some peace.
You couldn't have done this some other way? You didn't have to sell us out.
They came for me and I had to surrender. They have my wife and daughter, Tom. If I don't give them the books, they'll kill them. Before, we used to solve things like men. You, Paulie, or Sam would get them back. But I can't take that risk this time. I don't want to lose them, Tom. I can't live without them. They told me if I did what they wanted, they'd release them and send us to Europe, where we'd start again.
Cops? The cops are blackmailing you and want to kill your family?
Ever since you and Paulie killed that Billy kid, the cops and Morello have been working hand in hand. The counselor, that kid's father, got where he is thanks to Morello. Morello wanted to get me to talk, and the police would then liquidate the Don. Both sides would then get what they wanted.
I'm afraid this situation has changed somewhat. Where are the books, Frank?
I haven't got them, Tom.
You handed them over already?
No, Tom. I'll tell you where they are if you get my wife and daughter back. We were supposed to wait here at the airport, so they must be holding them somewhere around here.
Sorry, but they're in case you're lying.
We have to look for his family, but thankfully they're literally in the building next to where we find Frank.
I don't know what to do. They must be some kind of hood.
Frank's wife?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Come to save us.
But hurry.
Frank!
Marge,
Oh, good.
Alice.
Thank God you're all right.
Darling. Thanks, Tom. They promised they'd give me plane tickets when I gave them the books. Those tickets must be here somewhere.
Then we have to get them their plane tickets. Seriously? Do I have to do everything, Frank? You bastard.
Here you go, Frank.
Thanks, Tom. Let me say goodbye to March and Alice, and then we'll sort out this business.
What? Frank, you want flying with us? What?
I can't.
What?
Tommy and I have a very serious situation here that we must sort out.
Frank, just tell me where the books are and go with them.
What? How would you explain it to the Don?
Forget about it. That's my problem. Where are the books?
I'll never forget this. Here's the key to a safe box in the First National Bank downtown. The books are there. Take it, Tom.
Thanks.
And Tom, thanks for everything you've done for us. I'm indebted to you. And tell the Don I'm sorry for the way things had to end.
To the Don, you're dead, Frank. If he finds out you're not, then this isn't finished. Now just go.
Tommy, I'll never forget how you helped us. God bless you.
Goodbye, mister!
And, don't forget what I told you in the car that time.
In the end, your best friend kills you. Frank told me that in the car. And now, it was me who was meant to kill a friend. Only I didn't do it. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want them to do to you, or however they say it. And I didn't want Paulie to knock me off anytime soon. I may have given him a reason to do just that today. I brought it on myself. I just hope he likes me as much as I like Frank.
After all that brouhaha, we can go to Lucas. We have to beat up a guy in front of a bar. It's as simple as they get. On my way back, I tried to fit my car through here, but it didn't work. I mean, kinda did, but I had to walk. Anyway, we get this bright orange car. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, we also need to stop at the bank where Frank hid the documents. Of course, the remake had to expand on this scene for no reason other than to waste the player's time.
My colleague downstairs, sir.
Thanks. I need to access the deposit boxes for Frank Coletti.
Ah, yes, Mr. Angelo?
Yeah.
Mr. Coletti said it might be you who came, and to provide access. Please, follow me.
I got the books and covered my tracks. Salieri never asked any questions. In fact, apart from the funeral, I never heard him talk about Frank again.
I mean, this is how the original does it.
Frank didn't lie. The briefcase with the account books was in the safe box. There was no problem getting it.
Mission 10, visiting rich people.
Merle's got a dirty prosecutor on his payroll named Watkins. Turns out he's old friends with Galati.
The city councilor?
The same. Morello let drop that we might have had something to do with the Galati boy's death. Now Watkins is loaded for bear, trying to do right by his buddy. Word is, he's striking gold with a few witnesses.
You have names?
Yeah. But Paulie and Sam are taking care of them. I'm putting you on a different part of the job. We need whatever Watkins has got on us.
Next thing on the agenda, we have to steal some incriminating documents, and for this quest, we get a safe cracker guy who cracks safes. That's what he does.
You can open any safe in the country, right?
Almost every one, Chief.
And how did you learn that trick?
My grandpa was in a business.
Not much to add, except in the remake they made him Italian. And the whole joke is that Tommy can't understand him. Ha ha ha. Funny. Now, I don't know any Italian, but if nothing else, this guy is a terrible voice actor.
Ora penso io alla casaforte. Hai capito? Ci ho quasi rimesso la pelle in quella villa. Ed è tutta colpa tua. Impara almeno un po' di italiano. Per rispetto della nostra patria.
Don't worry though, the other version also manages to piss me off by just standing there while I'm obviously struggling to open the door. He just looks at me like I'm trying to break into his house. Come on, you fuck, you're here to open that door. So this sounds like a stealth mission, but as I told you before, there are no stealth mechanics in the old one. But that didn't stop them from creating this mission. The idea is that you wind up your attack with a baseball bat and kill each guard. Take a look at my attempts. After those, I just started blasting. Much more effective. So we get to the save, but let's see how the remake handles this. Crouch, take down, repeat until Tommy says the thing.
I think that's all of them.
Salvatore, where are you?
Then we get this hilarious scene where he can't find Salvatore.
Where the hell did he go?
Sono qui, Tommy.
Guy's a pain in the ass.
Forza, vieni con me.
I like jokes. They're funny. Then we have to check behind paintings. Okay. Then the alarm goes off in the safe, which is upstairs, and you can clearly tell that's where the alarm is coming from. So next thing I know, this genius guy is coming up saying, they must be upstairs. 10 out of 10 for observation, my man. Strangely, the two shootouts are pretty much the exact same in both versions, taking place in the exact same location, of course with a whole lot more Molotov cocktails in the remake. Now I know you can get a secret car in this mission too, and you see me looking for it here. Spoilers though, I will not find it. Turns out you only get this car, shown on the screen right now, if you successfully sneak around in the first part of the mission. Huh. The more you know. In the remake, you just take this car. It's not a secret car, but it's nice enough, I suppose. You take Salvatore home, put him to bed, read him a bedtime story, and after a good night's kiss, return to Salieri's bar. Mission 11, great deal.
Sam says you worked out an angle.
Yeah, and you're gonna love it.
Well, I met a guy from Kentucky, William Gates. Everyone knows that Kentucky makes the best homebrewed whiskey. Well, anyway, this guy almost threw up when he tried the whiskey which Morello sells here.
For some reason, the remake includes two new named characters that never fulfill any role. Maybe they cut this out later in development. Who knows what the idea behind it was. So this guy informs us that Bill is waiting for us at the top of the parking lot.
Hey there, Bill. It's good to see you again.
Hey, Paulie.
I hope you all have good taste in whiskey.
Of course, it doesn't take long for something to go wrong. Just like in the previous mission, there's not much I can say about the gunfight at this point. There's no big difference between the two. Let's jump ahead to the getaway. In the remake, we have the automatically focusing crosshair. We just have to press the fire button. Easy as squeezing lemons in a child's eye. In the original, we are the ones that drive the truck containing the goodies. So in this case, it's much more about survival. Sam and Paulie are shooting at them, but as far as I know, they can't really kill anybody. Okay guys, place your bets, whenever I make it or not. gonna be pretty smooth sailing from here. Except if I do that. So yeah, you won if you had the utmost faith in me.
Okay, we did it.
So it looks like Morello got in the way of things again, boss.
Can't seem to shake off this bad luck.
Boys, you won't believe this, but it's completely the other way around. The only one who really had bad luck this time was Morello.
What?
I found out who our Mr. Gates really was. He was a small-time thief who stole the goods from Morello and wanted to sell them to us.
Morello's boys caught up with you?
Yeah, boss. We took care of it.
What about the kid from Kentucky?
He took a slug to the shoulder, but he's a tough blocker. He and his crew dusted out as soon as we bumped off Morello's hatchet men.
Getting shot will give Gates and his pop another reason to ice Morello out of the whiskey business.
Well, let's see if this hooch was worth all the trouble. Excellent. I'll work out the details with Papa Gates.
Mission 12, Bon Appetit.
I'm going to Pepe's restaurant for lunch, but my personal bodyguard has called in sick. There's nobody here who could take me, and I prefer not to go to these things alone. You'll take me, won't you?
Certainly, boss.
Bravo. Let's get going then. I'm already pretty hungry. Have you got a piece on you, Tommy?
You think I'll need it?
You know how it is. Things with Morello have been a little quiet lately. Maybe it's just got me jumpy is all.
I always like the idea of a mission when you're going with the boss. It's like spending time with your dad.
For you? And for you.
Pepe, the meal is a masterpiece as always.
Molto grazie, Don Salieri. Praise from such a gourmet as you, it filled me with joy.
Please, I'm no gourmet. If you knew what I ate for dinner yesterday, you definitely wouldn't say that.
I'll have to bring Sarah here sometime.
Ah, yes, you certainly should, Tommy. Just be careful that Sarah doesn't take offense. She cooks worse than Pepe.
First thing that happens is that I get confused because the layout is different than in the original. But once I get my bearings, I just blast through the enemies.
Right here!
Molotov for these guys. It's like I'm unnatural, except I just use whatever the game is throwing at me. Not so much on the other side. There's a million enemies, and some of them come rushing to you if you're not fast enough. Not to mention you have to take out these guys in the front, otherwise Salieri will die. It's fun action, which I did clear on my first try, but barely, as you will see.
I have to say, you got balls, Tommy. You saved my ass.
You weren't so bad yourself, boss.
Christ, that was crazy. Thank God Pepe hid. Poor guy. I'll have to send him some dough for repairs.
Well, let me get you back to the bar.
No, not the bar. We're going to see Carlo. That son of a bitch knew where I was going today, and he calls in sick.
He set you up.
We get to see Salieri's funny jog in the remake. It's absolutely adorable.
No, Tom, my face is going to be the first and last thing this bastard sees.
Come on guys, this ain't the movies. You can have sex without the boxers. You know the drill, guy starts running, we have to chase him. The remake does it in a scripted way, where if you get to a certain point you can shoot the guy. The original has a typical chase him down and shoot him kind of thing. There's a couple more guys that come to stir shit up, and the guy has more health than regular enemies, so I actually couldn't finish this mission with just 9 health. I had to go back, redo the previous section, and come back. Still pretty fun though. Mission 13, happy birthday.
Tommy, that assassination attempt means that Morello has openly declared war on us. We have to deal with him.
First in line for the pine box is this asshole, Galati. The counselor's still seeing red over his dead kid, so he's never going to turn on Morello.
The counselor is celebrating his birthday and has decided to throw a huge shindig. He's having it on a steamboat with fireworks and the whole nine, and he'll be making a speech to the paparazzi.
What kind of security?
Just a normal detail, a few guys with Roscoe's. None of the other fellas are gonna do dick to protect that piece of shit.
Okay. I'll talk my way into the party, put two in his head.
It sounds pretty risky.
But well worth the risk.
Slow down, Junior. Galati's corrupt, but he ain't stupid.
I'd like to get back to shore in one piece.
Afterwards, it'll be nuts. There'll be some security guards on the boat, and you should be able to get past them in the chaos. If not, get to the bow, and Paulie will pull up in a boat and bring you back safely.
Okay, I arrive at the harbor. Let's see what we have to do. Following the marker, walking. Talk to Sam. He opens the door for me. I go in. More walking. Cutscene. And I got the disguise.
Know you'd get a real job someday. So remember, play it cool. When you've gone some ways over the water, find the gun.
I love how they're discussing the plan in front of like 50 people. In the original, of course, you don't have the markers, so you have to do a bit of a looking around. Find this suspiciously open door, go in, search the place, find the disguise. Was this peak gameplay? No, but at least the player was left to his own devices instead of the game, leading them by hand. We even get searched as we were about to go on board. Once on the ship, we have to find the gun that was hidden away in the men's room. But somebody locked the door. Of course, it's not going to be that easy. Have to find the skipper.
Everything in order?
Hey there. Do you know where the keys are to that broken John?
Don't bug me. I have a lot of work to do.
I heard you had the key to the John on the upper deck.
Yeah, the keys from that puked up pizza. The lifeguard probably has them. He's around here somewhere.
Wait, this bastard lied to me.
I left something there.
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll lend them to you, but you gotta promise to clean up that mess in there and bring them right back to me. I'll wait in the stern for you.
Clean up? Sure. You bet.
Okay, there you go, but bring them back.
Where are you, baby?
Now, where is it? I would have liked the 1911 better. So weapon at the ready, now we just have to wait till the guy comes out. I'm not entirely sure if you triggered this or is it just timed. Bottom line, you have to wait until this cutscene plays. I was busy drinking while it happened, but I guess duty calls. Problem is, I forgot to return the key to the skipper, so I get busted.
Wasn't I clear enough? Murderer! There's a murderer here!
Chaos ensues. If this was a modern game, it would have given me a mission failed already. But in this case, I managed to survive. Then I just run around for a while because I can't find the only guy that we actually came to kill. But he can't hide forever, and then we live with Paulie. Pretty memorable mission. Change of scenery was nice, plus as you just saw, it could play out in many different ways. Just as a fun fact, there's a mod called Titanic that is being made for the original. I didn't play it myself. It looks pretty good though. Only reason why I'm mentioning it is because you can see how this mission inspired somebody to do a whole mod of it. So how does this play out in the remake? The men's room is locked here too. Janitor has the keys, who I am told is drunk somewhere. Okay. This guy stops me for some reason. Gotta admit, I couldn't follow the markers this time because there's multiple levels to the ship and the markers don't account for that. So the janitor is on our team. Okay. But if that's the case, why didn't he hit the gun in this room? What's the point in getting the key, going to the toilet, and getting the gun from there? Wasting time. The answer is wasting time. Here's another thing to waste my time. So the guy recognizes me, so I'm busted, right? No, you just beat him up and that's it. Nobody saw us, nobody heard anything. It was just a thing that happened for no good reason. Once we get the gun, we're once again led by the marker. It says find a vantage point, but how can I find something when you only accept the place that you're pointing to? Mr. Marker, look at this perfect cover for an assassination. It's almost like this is a video game constructed by people, probably a guy, probably white, 30 to 40 years old, with a mustache, rubbing his temple while his phone rings, picks it up to hear his wife asking him to bring milk on his way home. In short, immersion ruined. So I'm staring down this guy from the barrel. It's just how I like to stare at people. Nobody notices me from the most obvious of places. He probably hired these guys from Craigslist. Anyway, I have to wait for the fireworks because then they wouldn't hear the gunshot to make it more cinematic. Take your pick. In either case, the whole ship is gonna start hunting me once I kill this man. Thank God this ship is full of covers. So I realize what is missing from the weapon arsenal. A gun that you can actually fire from a distance. Most of them have a pretty short range. You can see here I cannot shoot these enemies from that far away. But in any case, that was Happy Birthday in the remake. Mission 17, Lucky Bastard.
Tommy pulled it off. Now all the politicians in the city are scared. Nobody wants to end up like the counselor.
Nice job, Tom.
But it's not enough. Now we're after Morello's right-hand man, his brother, Sergio Morello Jr.
The Looney Tunes mission. That's because they made this character whose whole deal is that he's extremely lucky. So the formula for the original is this. Go to a place, drive back to the bar. Go to another place, then back to the bar. Go to yet another place, go back again to the bar, and then car chase. But let's take a look at these in a little bit more detail. First, we have to go to this Italian restaurant. The big idea is that we're gonna call him, and when he gets to the phone, Paulie's gonna shoot him. Doesn't work out, of course. Guy's not even in the restaurant. A small oversight. So we hop into our car and it's back to the bar. The next plan is to plant the bomb on his luxury vehicle. We have to drive to the place again, and what am I supposed to do? Well, you just have to wait until the guy decides that he's tired of doing his job and goes inside. With him gone, we safely place the bomb. But the mission is called Lucky Bastard for a reason, and the wrong person goes to the car.
Christ. No, no, no! Hey, stop! Shit! Damn. That's one hot dame.
Jesus Christ, Tommy. That was cold. So we're going to another restaurant. Oh, he's actually here this time. But of course, tomfoolery happens and we have to run away again.
What the?
You have a message from Mr. Salieri.
What the hell's going on?
Oh, no.
Well, that certainly changes the situation, gentlemen. Kill that clown!
And I discovered something that I never knew about this game. You can actually run out of gas. I played through this game quite a few times and this never happened. Anyway, on to the next plan, which is...
Why don't the barriers close? Go!
Real damn professional.
You said it, Tommy. We give chase and thankfully this is the last one. Now the remake definitely improves on this. It starts off with Vinny and Sam chasing the guy. It doesn't work out. Also, why does Sergio look cartoonishly evil? I mean, I love it, but I certainly can't take him seriously. We start off with the car bombing, and while on our way there, you can listen to me on the radio.
Standing up to the mob can be a dangerous game. Suspected mob hits carried out against officials in a number of American cities attest to that.
He's just as monotone as me. To place the bomb, we just have to go in behind the yard. As you can see, it's conveniently designed for somebody to sneak in. Otherwise, the same thing happens, except no jokes from Tommy this time.
Hey, stop!
Shame. To the restaurant we go. Shoot up the place. And it would be fun if we actually saw some destruction being done to the place, but they didn't have the budget for that, apparently. Mafia 2 has many memorable missions when you absolutely destroy places. Well, I digress. Sergio, of course, gets away, but we're not far behind. And yes, we do drive a motorcycle, and my god, it has worse controls than the race car.
So get it!
You wanna know the best thing about this section? It's this. For something that appears only for this one chase, it sure has a lot of problems. So we chase him to the docks.
Kill that bastard tailing me.
As you can see, Tommy uses his car as cover. What is he gonna do in the remake? What can I get you, sir? Usual? Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm hiding, I'm shooting, I'm good at video games. Even though there's a car, of course you can't use it. Once the game gets tired of sending enemies, we get to the lever. We pull it, train hits door, we are happy. I killed the goons. I think only Sergio is left, but not for long. Oh, the TNT barrels. We meet again. Told you they'll be relevant. Can you think of a worse place to hide though? Probably, but this is up there.
You ain't that lucky, bastard.
Wait. No!
Let's see how the original handles this. Similarly to the airport, this section of the mission takes place in this wide open area. There's enemies popping up everywhere, and while we fight for our lives, we also have to find Sergio. We can see his car in front of a closed off building. The idea is the same. Use the trains to open the doors. Of course, first you have to make sure to kill the guys around the area. So you have to turn 2 levers, and I gotta admit I'm having a hard time seeing which position it should be. Let's try it like this. Well, that's disappointing. You're allowed to fail once, but if you fail with both trains, the mission ends. On my next try, I took this truck, but I come to regret it. Anyway, if you succeed, this happens. Do I have to blow it up? You can pick up grenades in the earlier section. Here we go. Did that miss? Okay, have another one then. Wait.
Ha! That didn't work. Huh?
You can hear me blowing myself up.
I don't know what you're trying, you bastard.
Oh, I'm still alive. Yes.
Kill you along with your whole family.
Sergio has a lot of health. And unlike the remake, we actually have to shoot him down. Let's try that again.
You lucky bastard.
He said the thing. We have a new mission from Lucas. We're supposed to pick these guys up who were just in a gunfight. I couldn't do this. It takes them a million years to get into the car. The time limit is very strict, and you have to drive for so long. Worst part is, I went to Lucas without a car, so every attempt started with me first stealing a car. I surrender on this one. Mission 15, Creme de la Creme.
Today we can finally remove that bastard once and for all. Paulie has come up with a plan.
We do him like this. We wait outside the theater till the end of the show. All those rich assholes will start coming out. That's when we hit Morello and his gorillas. In a crowd. Before they see us coming.
That's right. What my informants tell me, we have one chance to get this guy. Morello watches his back and almost never shows himself in public. Goes everywhere in his bulletproof limo, clammed up like some seashell. But today he's coming out.
This really feels like a mission that should be more significant than it really is. So we're just gonna go to the theater and kill him? That seems underwhelming. Because it is, and we miss our window. You have to chase him. If you pick a slow car in the original, you're not gonna be able to keep up. We arrive at the airport once again, have a little back and forth, little action. While we're busy, Morello is trying to get away on a plane. We can't let that happen, so we jump into a vehicle and shoot the plane down. There's a bit more in the remake where we have to follow the plane to make sure we finish the job. Yeah, still feels a little anticlimactic to be honest.
Jesus Christ.
Bastard's daddy doesn't even know it yet.
I'm told that Lucas has a mission for me, but...
Hey Tom, I'm pretty beat. Drop us at the front of the bar and come back later.
Oh my god. So I have to take you guys back, then drive to Lucas again? Ah, fine. So he has a car that is wanted by the police. I have to get rid of it by driving it into the sea. I managed on my first try, but sadly I didn't exit the vehicle. There is no jumping out of the car mechanic in this version. On my second try, I wanted to push it in with the police car, but it got stuck or something. So my next bright idea was that I will shoot it into the sea. Didn't work out. And here's the winning attempt. I still nearly fell, and the police car got stuck, so guess we're walking. Anyway, here's the car that we get for this job. Mission 16, Election Campaign. Salieri has something to teach to Tommy.
Paulie's feels a little light.
There's a little extra in mine to cover the difference.
I knew a couple of guys once. Took some dames out to the lake. Had a few beers, a few laughs. Then one of them decides to go in the water. Gets to the center of the lake and realizes he's running out of steam. Can't make it back in. He starts shouting for help. Now the other guy, he's a strong swimmer. He goes out in the lake to drag his buddy back to shore. Problem is, the first guy, the one too stupid to know when the water's too deep for him, he panics. Grabs his friend by the neck and they both go under and don't come up again.
After that, we get down to business.
Turnbull.
That guy sickens me. He controls half of the brothels in the city. Doesn't pay us a dime. And then has the nerve to say he's ending crime in the city.
You want me to pay him a visit? Maybe put him on a take?
Remember that knocking off a politician is messier than offing a gangster. We don't want anyone to implicate us. The speculation and fear will be enough for our purposes.
I took the bike because it's funny, but before getting to the mission, I have to lose the cops. So it didn't fail me this time, but when I was going to the hotel, it gave me a game over. Thank God for consistency. I'm really smart, so I find my way to the prison as the game tells me. And then this guy says that the green paint will show me the way. Nice. More hand-holding. I'm legally bound to beat up people I meet in the sewers because they scare me. They're one of the most powerful beings on Earth. Anyway, I release all the prisoners, but nobody comes out because this is an abandoned prison. America probably never heard of such a thing. So other than that one guy, there's nobody standing in your way. You just walk through the place. Peak gameplay, once again. Get to the sniper rifle and shoot down the guy.
Hey, mister, you can't come in here. We're working. Hey, what are you doing, Mac? You can't go in there. You deaf? You can't go in there. You deaf?
In the original, people who took residence in the abandoned prison are not so nice. In fact, they're pretty hostile. Don't really know why. But at least we have something to do while we make our way to the top. I get to the sniper rifle and realize that the sniper mode, as the game calls it, is not even keybinded. Once that's fixed, I attempt my first assassination. And I successfully fail. Thankfully, I make it the second time. Back in the remake, police start swarming the place, so we have to fight through them. Not much to say here. In the original, it's much more peaceful. We make our escape, but...
That's him! That's the guy I was telling you about!
I said don't move!
one car is going after us. It's not even worth mentioning. I wanted to take the tram to make my getaway, but turns out you can't ride it in the remake. These are fully functional in the original. They don't have much use, but still, they made them work. Lucas's quest. I need to pick a guy up before the police get to him and bring him to Lucas. Not a problem. Here's the car that we have to take. I tried something here, but it didn't really work. I mean, I got the car anyway. But we're not done in the remake yet. We actually have to go home. We get a scene with Sarah.
Did you hear about this Turnbull?
Heard he was crooked as the day is long.
It says in the paper he's going to be remembered for fighting to pass the 19th Amendment. Put his whole career on the line for it.
Which one was that again?
Women's suffrage, you idiot. He gave me the right to vote, Tom. Gave it to his wife and 6 daughters, too. Guess nobody's just one thing, are they?
Guess not. I gotta go to work.
Tom, don't do nothing you don't want to be remembered for, you hear me?
Probably too late for that.
Mission 17, just for relaxation.
Today's job is just for relaxation, boys.
So the two versions actually play out a little bit differently. See if you can catch it.
You want us to boost cigars?
Something wrong with that? Customers in our nightclubs are paid through the nose for quality cigars.
Okay, it's like this.
Paulie, what the hell is going on?
How the hell would I know, Tommy? You have to just snare a truck full of expensive cigars. The Don wants them and it makes us money. So it's up to us to get them.
It just seems a bit small time for him.
I just knew you were a smart one, Tom. Can't put nothing past you. Small time is exactly right. That's how it's supposed to look anyhow. The cigars are just a cover for a shipment of hot ice.
Before we take on the mission though, Paulie has something to say.
Since we're all here, I want to ask you both something.
What's on your mind?
Well, I got this idea. I might need you to do a little job with me.
Oh yeah? What's the deal?
Well, it's a big deal actually. I can't manage it alone, and you're my good buddies. We know each other, you know?
And Salieri? He know about this?
Nah, he doesn't, and he doesn't need to know. He's already got enough money.
Just got a lot on my mind is all.
That show. I'd have figured there wasn't enough room up there.
Go ahead and laugh, assholes. You guys are done. I don't think I got plans. But you're wrong. I got big plans.
Yeah? Spill it then. What are you working on?
Been thinking about hitting up a savings and loan downtown.
You want to rob a bank?
Sure. I've been casing the place for months. I got it all worked out.
So this is where the problems start to take shape. The original has no problem selling you the idea that Paulie could come up with a reasonable plan, because he wasn't shown to be a comic relief character. But in the remake, that's what he is. That's the only thing that he is. And because of that, I don't trust this guy to come up with a plan like this. But don't we have cigars to get? In the remake, this is how we get the truck. Oh, come on. It takes more effort to take a lollipop from a child. Anyway, we bring it to the boys and they got their disguises ready, but they didn't get one for Tommy. So we just have to hang out in the back of the truck. We arrive at the harbor, guys get drafted into work, and we have to do the whole mission alone. Of course. Just crouch down, and if you see an enemy, take them down. Pretty straightforward. We have to read some documents to figure out where's what, and we get to the crates. We open the closest door, and the guys are conveniently there. We load up the crates, and our job is done. But what's this? These weren't cigars or diamonds. They were smuggling drugs. So this prompts Tom to get behind Paulie's idea. In the original, this is how we get the truck.
Leave me alone!
Get him! We gotta get those papers!
Give me some papers and nothing will
I
happen
didn't do
to
none of you! I don't have anything!
I'll meet Sam and we'll wait for you.
Yeah, what are you playing at? First you gotta unload before you can load up again. Whoa, where you going? Stop! Stop him!
I mean, no. This is how we get the truck. We need to follow it, wait for it to get unloaded, then steal it. So we make it inside, park it in front of boxes we need, and yeah, we actually have to do manual labor in order to get the guy to leave. The game doesn't tell you anything. I guess hypothetically, you could just shoot up the place, but there's so many enemies, it's gonna be pretty hard. So once we're done with the first job, it's still not over. We have to talk to the guy again in order for him to leave and check on the ships. Now we can take the crates. Of course, he catches me on the last freaking box. But I still got away. Barely, but I did. I have to go pick up Paulie with the truck, and there's a lot of guys after me. And I just die. Next attempt. There's even one where I managed to trick the game that I picked Paulie up, even though I didn't. So it told me to get to the warehouses, but as you can see, you know, I just soft locked myself. That's what I did. Then the next attempt, the truck did this. So I had to replay the previous section again to have more health, and now it was easy peasy. We make it back to the warehouses, both of us this time, and we find that the cigars were actually diamonds.
Paulie?
Huh?
I'll stop by tomorrow and we can talk about that little deal you mentioned.
Yeah. Okay.
Mission 18, Moonlighting. In the old version, Tommy starts off by telling us his reasoning of why he agreed to go along with Paulie's plan.
What's with the sudden change of heart? I didn't think you wanted to do it.
That was when I still thought that Salieri wasn't using us.
In the remake, we learn more about why Paulie wants the dough.
Who's gonna marry me? Nearly 40 years old and nothing to show for it but my rap sheet. But we do this, I get enough scratch to finally get out? Who knows?
So in the old version, we get to the bank by train. It's a long ride and there's nothing to do. I mean, we can talk to Paulie, but it's still very, very long. We enter the bank and discuss the plan while inside. Surely there's a better place to do this, like any other place? Whatever. We're not done yet. We take the train again to get weapons. We can select whatever we want. It's pretty cool. We're gonna need one more thing though for this heist, a getaway vehicle. Of course, we go to Lucas, who's gonna hook us up with a car. Go help out his friend under the bridge. Time for the heist. We have to get the manager and another key from here. See things going smoothly. Of course, the police show up and it's time for the getaway car to do what it does best. Get away. from the cops in this game is an art. And I'm a goddamn Picasso, baby.
We're loaded, Tom. We did it. It worked.
Let's check out the new version. So we don't check out the place, we don't get to choose our weapons, we just start right in front of the bank. Other than that, it's the same thing, although one small difference, we have to lead the manager down with us. We get to the vault, take the money, and we have to run. So after a little while, the police lose interest and let the bank robbers go. Fine by me.
We did it! I can't believe we fucking did it! We're loaded! We're loaded!
Yeah.
Go home, celebrate with Sarah, come by my place in the morning, we'll split up the dough.
Mission 19, The Death of Art. The remake starts us off at home.
Christ has finally risen. I was getting ready to call the coroner.
Sorry. Had a bit of trouble falling asleep is all.
Me too, thanks to you tossing and turning all night. Okay, what'd you do?
We're just feeling lucky is all.
Got that right, champ.
But I've been thinking.
Oh yeah? I'll call the papers.
I've been thinking about taking you and a kid out to the shore.
You serious? Ain't you working?
Polly and me, we've come into some money.
Huh. One of his cracked angles finally pay off?
Yeah, something like that. Pack a few bags. I'll swing by after I go around to Polly's.
What ain't you telling me, Tommy?
Nothing.
Sure, you and Polly are suddenly flush and now you want to leave town for a few days? That don't square.
What's the point of making a buck if we can't spend it?
That ain't it. You're moving, even when you're standing still. Yeah, you're nervous about something. Probably you don't even know why yet.
Well, that must be it.
Well, you better figure it out before you get to Polly's. Just in case it's him that got you all wound up.
Polly's all right. Don't worry about it.
The original doesn't have this. Instead, we see Tommy going to Polly's apartment.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell happened? Polly! Polly! Christ! The dough! Where's the dough?
Paulie?
Sam, it's me. It's Tom.
Where's Polly?
He's dead. I'm looking at him slumped over in a hallway, torn a fucking skull.
Christ, I knew it. Tom, you're in deep shit.
You gotta disappear.
Okay, okay. I just need some cash to get me and the girls out of town. Can you swing that?
Sure. Anything, pal. You want me to come to Polly's?
No, I can't stay here. Meet me at the city gallery.
We gotta meet somewhere, but almost everywhere is dangerous for you now. Our best bet would be the city gallery.
I'm a little confused why they changed Sam's suggestion to them meeting in the museum to it being Tommy's idea in the remake. That doesn't really make sense. You wanna tell me Sam is ready with a bunch of guys to just hop into a car and get any place Tommy names before he does? Perfect example of bad writing. So yeah, I kinda spoiled it already, but this is actually a trap.
Surprise! You weren't looking for that at Paulie's by chance.
Sam, what's going on? I thought we were meeting alone.
The situation's changed, Tom. I had to decide whose side I was on, and sorry, but it would be suicidal to stand on your side. I can live with murder, though.
So you killed Paulie?
Well, I was more the means to his death. The same as I am in your case.
I would never have expected this from you, Sam.
Well, I'm in a good mood. Things are looking up for me, and I found a bag of money.
So killing off your partners is a big laugh? Maybe I should try it.
It ain't bad, but you probably won't have time.
It's never too late to start. I guess honor's out of the picture.
Honor's meaningless. This is business, and you've broken its unwritten rules many times over, Tom.
I didn't notice that I was the cause of the family's problems.
Really? You did what you wanted, Tom. You didn't kill Frank. You let that whore get away, and then the bank? You can't do what you know is right because you don't know nothing. You don't grasp the effects of your actions. The Don is the thinker.
You were never a great thinker, so you probably need him. That's not how I feel. I can think for myself.
The opinion of Don Salieri is that he won't go and sit in jail just because of your feelings. And I agree with his opinion completely. Don Salieri really liked you, Tom. And I did too. We'll cry together at the funeral.
You poor bastard, Sam. I feel sorry for you.
But I'm alive. It's a pity you can't use that money. Oh, but don't worry. We'll give Sarah a little something. You know, single mothers don't have it easy these days. The Don will take care of her. He isn't as much of a monster as you think. Goodbye, Tom. It was nice knowing you. Take good care of him, boys. And please, don't make him suffer. He's my buddy.
Don't move, Tommy.
Shit.
Hey, Tom.
Sam. What the hell's going on?
You and Polly put me in a bad spot.
I know, Sam, and I'm sorry about that, but I need to get out of town. Can you help me or not?
There you go again. Making me choose between my friends and the family. This is what you were looking for, Polly's. Here's your cut. It's more than you deserve.
Sam. You killed him. You killed Paulie.
No. Paulie got himself killed.
And you seem real tore up about it.
I'm just in a good mood. Things are right between me and the Don. I'm moving up, and I just found this big bag of money. The Don knows about Frank, Tom. The whore, too.
That whore? The girl you were sweet on?
You're the one that let her live. I'm sorry about this, Tom. But our business has rules. It's a shame, too. Don Salieri really liked you. Guess we'll both have a good cry at your funeral.
You think you're doing this because you're loyal, but you're not. You're just scared.
Maybe. But you'd have lived a lot longer if you'd have just looked over your shoulder from time to time. Goodbye. Don't let him suffer, boys. He's my buddy.
Can't really tell you that this museum section is very memorable in the remake, because every shootout in this game plays out exactly the same. Like, the place looks nice, but I just find a cover, shoot until nobody's standing, and move on. The original is hard. Really hard. Start out with a pistol that has 6 bullets, and that's it. If you don't kill anyone with that, you can punch them, I guess. It is possible though to kill these first two guys with only 6 bullets, so the game is not being unfair. As you can see, the location looks pretty here too, but you won't be looking for too long because there's a million guys in this place. Look at the amount of them. And after you mow down those and you go towards the steps, they throw a grenade at you. I also realize here that you can shoot down the paintings. Nice. Once we get here, we're officially in the final stretch.
It looks like you underestimated your new partners. Maybe you ought to change sides.
It's still not over, Tom.
Things aren't what they look like, Sam. Salieri also double-crossed you.
What are you talking about?
We almost got killed because of those stupid cigars. Salieri knew that the job was risky. There were diamonds hidden between those cigars. He didn't want to give us a cut. That's why Paulie wanted to take the bank. Because he realized how Salieri was ripping us off.
He told me about those diamonds, Tom. He only wanted to keep them secret so nobody knew where they were before he sold them. Besides, the diamonds have nothing to do with the fact that you didn't kill Frank! He broke the Omerta. Which is worse, Tom.
How do you know I didn't kill Frank?
You can blame it all on someone else you didn't kill. You're too human. She came back to the city, and we found her by accident.
Damn it.
Tom, you know you can't trust a dame. I can understand it isn't easy to kill your wife's best friend. Yeah, I should have done it for you. She also pleaded with me and cried. Well, we realized that we couldn't rely on you, so we checked up a little and found out about Frank.
Sam, do you really think everything has to end like this? We still got a chance.
There ain't no way back now, Tom. I'm sorry.
So we have to kill Sam. He has a Tommy gun, which means that we can only shoot at him when he's reloading. If you do that enough times, he's gonna run away. When this happens, the game is gonna give you a cheap death. Thankfully, it's not totally heartless, as there is a checkpoint here. And since we know he's gonna run out, we easily win.
You did it. But they'll get you all the same. Salieri will get you. He stood by you. You rat. You're dangerous, Tom. And Paulie is dead. He was never sure that you wouldn't forgive his death. Oh, you're gonna have to hide like an outcast. And one day they'll get you. All the same. Like Frank.
They found him?
You only lengthened his life. But in the end, they found him. All the same. And Frank was the Don's only real friend. Friendship ain't worth shit. Oh! Ah! Ow! Oh! Oh!
Wanna see how the battle against Sam is in the remake?
I've seen it grow in you for years, but now there's only one way out. I'm the guy that gets to give it to you. However far you run, Salieri will find you. life you could just finish.
I mean, I guess it's more realistic. Still disappointing though.
Nobody's carrying you to the doctor this time, Sam.
You kill me now in the dawn. She's never gonna stop looking for you. But you let me live. I'll tell Salieri you're dead. You can disappear. Just like Frank. Only you'll be smart enough to stay gone. Right?
What happened to him?
He was hiding out in Europe. But the dumb bastard. He started betting at the dog track. Got spotted by a friend of the family. So Salieri, he sent out a crew.
And his family?
Christ. You can't do it, can you? There's always that little voice in the back of your head. Maybe sounds like your baby girl. Or Sarah. Always telling you not to pull that trigger. And you can't make up your mind.
It's getting easier every time you open your fucking mouth.
We sure had some laughs, right? Remember that time? Me, you, and Polly.
Couldn't they have made sure that the blood actually spills on the money? I mean, that's the idea of this whole imagery. Oh well.
A long time ago. In another life. Someone once told me that family is a man's Achilles heel. His greatest weakness. Maybe he was right. Because everything I've done, both good and bad, I've done for my family. I've turned my back on people I thought were my friends. I've kept a lot of hard promises. I spent 8 years totally alone, trying to find myself so I could come home. A better husband, a better father, a better man. Now that I'm a lot older and just a bit wiser, I see that family is our greatest weakness, but it's also our greatest strength. It gets us out of bed in the morning. It lets us chase our dreams, even when they're moving too fast to catch. It keeps us from falling over when we're too tired to take another step.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
Tommy!
safe now. We're all safe. Remember that money, jobs, even best pals will come and go. But family is forever.
Everything worked out until the legal case. I sat in my cell and wrote down the evidence I had against all the people I had worked with. People I had been friends with for 10 years. The case was huge and caused a shock throughout the country. Salieri got life. Even some of his thugs got the chair. The shortest sentence was 8 years. I spent the whole time in a closed cell at a secret location with no visitors. I didn't see Sarah or my little girl the entire time. In the end, it was worth it. Norman got us new identities and moved us to the other end of the U.S. I got work as a driver for a respectable company. We started a whole new life. This peace was only interrupted by the war, but we got through it.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes?
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
You know, the world isn't run by the laws written on paper. It's run by people. Some according to laws, others not. It depends on each individual how his world will be, how he makes it. And you also need a whole lot of luck, so that somebody else doesn't make your life hell. And it ain't as simple as they tell you in grade school. But it is good to have strong values and to maintain them. In marriage, in crime, in war. Always and everywhere. I messed up. So did Paulie and Sam. We wanted a better life, but in the end, we were a lot worse off than most other people. You know, I think it's important to keep a balance in things. Yeah, balance, that's the right word. Because the guy who wants too much risks losing absolutely everything. Of course, the guy who wants too little from life might not get anything at all.
So what's the grand conclusion? Mafia is still worth playing to this day. The GOG version is working perfectly, the gameplay loop is engaging enough, and while the vehicle controls are terrible, you can get used to them to a certain degree. Other than some tedious driving around, I don't think that there's anything too negative I can say about this game. As you saw, there's enough wacky stuff that can occur even if you play the game multiple times, and that's thanks to the fact that a lot of times the game just gonna let you play around. Sure, there's nothing to do in the city, there's no side activities or anything like that. If you want to just freely run around the place, there's the free ride mode that you can play from the main menu. But what we're really being offered here in these 19 missions is more than enough. Except we could do without Fairplay. The remake tries to do its own thing, yet nothing's really working out because everything is way too linear. Follow the markers, do exactly as we're told, and everybody gets the same exact experience. And that experience is mediocre at best. The shooting is simplified by just taking cover, stealthing is just crouching down, it looks silly, it plays silly, driving is somewhat better but the vehicles are still slippery. I don't know how they managed to not fix really anything from the original. There were so many opportunities, yet what I can say that they improved is like Sarah's character and that talk with Frankie. Also, some of the missions have less driving. But then for every one of those points, we have the ruined characters of Sam and Polly, the forced walking sections, melee combat that makes you fall asleep, the list goes on. I'm really surprised that some people claim that this remake is one of the best out there. I can only assume they say that because they never actually played the original. And there's also the crowd of people that won't give it a chance because it looks old. Well, if I manage to sell you the idea that the original Mafia is a fun and well-made game, then I consider this video a success. Otherwise, I wasted both of our times.